Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kat, and on this channel I make a lot of content related to journaling, more specifically bullet journaling and junk journaling. Since the new year is right around the corner, I thought it was the perfect time for you to set up your 2026 bullet journal, but first you should know what pages, themes, and spreads you should do in it. So if you struggle with ideas of collections and pages to do throughout the year, look no further because today I'm going to show you different trackers, pages, spreads, and layouts that you can do in 2026 in your bullet journal. And stay tuned for my next video because it will be my 2026 bullet journal setup. If you like any type of journaling content, make sure you subscribe and like this video and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And let me show you all the pages that you should do in your 2026 bullet journal. So I have all of my journals here, and I want to start with a page that I think it's very, very important, either if you are an influencer, content creator, or a business owner, which is a goals and memories page. So this is a page that I did for 2020, and here, as you can see, I wrote all of the things that I achieved as a young content creator. At this time, I was receiving a lot of collaborations and I was hitting milestones every month, and it was really important for me to just add them in here as a way to now, 5 years later, look at this and see how much I accomplished in 2020. This can be really motivating or demotivating depending on where you are in life. There was a time in 2024 that I would look at this and be very sad because my numbers and my collaborations weren't as big as these ones. But sometimes you have to have this just remind you that this was once possible and that you can do it again. So this is a page that I highly recommend you to try because you can see all of your achievements in one place. If I had to recommend one theme that you should try in your bullet journal for 2026 is green leaves. This theme is very popular within the bullet journal community just because you just pick the color green and you draw leaves and that's it. And for this theme for April 2020, I chose just two different shades of green and I played around with it. And this theme was really fun to play around because I added a lot of washi tapes and stickers, but I still had space to draw some leaves here and there and make it very interesting. In this theme, there are a couple of pages that I want to highlight. First of all is the daily highlights page. I used to be very in gratitude logs and writing things every single day, but I didn't want to have a journal for that, even though now I have. So what I was doing at the time was just creating a daily highlights page in my bullet journal, and I would write the highlight of the day for each day. And you can call this the one line a day page. For me, it made sense to just be the daily highlights, just because I didn't want to write a full line. It was just the highlight of my day was here, and it really worked out for me. I would recommend this if you want to journal more often but don't really know how to start. This is a great example. Then I also want to highlight that having a brain dump page in your bullet journal is key to success. I used to have these every month, and it kind of depends on how my life is, but I used to have these every month and then I changed to every 6 months. I would do it as a collection in the beginning of my bullet journal. But this brain dump page, and I have a whole video about it that I'm going to link up here, is basically where you just write everything that it's on your mind. Nowadays, we live in a very busy environment and all our lives are busy. So having a place where you just write all the things that you have to do with no particular order is a must-have. It makes my brain so smooth and light that I'm really thankful that I discovered this page. Nowadays, I just do it in my weekly spread, but I used to do it monthly. And it's just easy to have like a to-do and just put it in here and check this every day or every 2 days and make sure that these things are getting done. So I highly recommend you to try a brain dump page as well. And this is more a personal note, but I really like how this weekly spread turned out. These vertical weekly spreads are really fun to do if you are busy and don't want to draw a lot. I feel like this weekly spread took me probably like 15 minutes to make because these structures are really easy to do. I just had to put the calendar here, a little bit of drawings here and there, but it was so easy to set up that it's a layout that I highly recommend for a weekly spread. The next page that I want to share is a monthly recap. Again, I think that it's really important for you to recap your month and review it and look at the past 30 days and see what you did, what you accomplished, what you couldn't do, what you should have done, and just look at it and journal a little bit about it. Nowadays, I don't do it, but it's something that I want to implement in 2026 is to just sit down with myself, my journal, and a little bit of tea and just write how my month went and just journal about the good, the bad, and things to improve. I remember that at this time, March 2021, I was having a great structure for my workouts and I was having walks with my best friend, but I was really nervous about the future and I wasn't feeling creative. And so, something to improve was actually my study routine at the time and my mental health and time management. And these were things that I improved for April. This is a very important page for mental health and to just review your month. I feel like it's always important. So if you need to pause and just reflect on your month, this is a great page to do. As for themes in this bullet journal, I really like this koi fish theme that I did. It's one of my favorite bullet journal themes that I've ever done, and I really like how it turned out. So take this as inspiration for your bullet journal for 2026. I think that fish and like these windows with water and everything that I did on this page is super, super nice. And the colors are really vivid, which I love. And this is inspired by windows and paint a little bit. So take this as inspiration. Another theme that I want to share, and that is kind of mixed up with my tablecloth here, but is this wall decor theme that I did for August 2022, I guess, 2021. I did this theme in August 2021, and it was very inspired by a collection by Notebook Therapy. But I had a lot of fun creating this theme because I had a lot of things attached to the wall and little shelves with things. And these weekly spreads were really fun. So it's a really fun theme to recreate if you want to. But I also want to highlight this mood and work tracker that I did. I was basically measuring the work hours that I was working versus my mood. And I actually used two different washi tapes to do this, but you can easily do this with pen. Mood and work trackers is something that is really like versatile to me because they don't tell me much, but depending on the month, I like to track my working hours and my mood to see how it influences one thing or the other. But this tracker is really nice for that. So if you are curious about how many hours you work versus your mood, this is the tracker to do. If I had to recommend another weekly spread layout, I would do this one. This is for November. This is one of my favorite themes as well. But I did this for November 2021. And in this weekly spread, I just did like a rolling weekly spread where I would just write the day and the task that I did for that day. And then at night, I would write the header for the next day and so on and so on. And it looked so full, but so pretty that it's something that I wish I had done more throughout my bullet journal journey, because then I just did normal weekly spreads and it was just not the same thing. So if you want to spice up your weekly spread game, this is another layout to try. Next up, this is another yearly collection. It's an year in pixels. This tracker, I actually did the first 6 months in another notebook, and then I migrated with the same color scheme to this one and I completed it. And this was the only year that I was able to do this because I usually fail. But this is a year in pixel spread where you can see your mood and whatever you want to track here. Here I was tracking if I was anxious or if I cried that day. And it's just a yearly overview of your mood. It's interesting, yes, it's not that useful, but I feel like sometimes it's fun to do. So if you want to track something every single day and you want to see it in an early view instead of a monthly view in your monthly bullet journal setup, you can do a year in pixel spread. And speaking of monthly pages, this is a massive habit tracker that I did for August 2020. I'm so glad that I labeled all of my journals. But this is a tracker that I did for August 2020. And I did a habit tracker for this month. Let me just grab it here. But I was feeling like this wasn't enough. So before the month started, or I think it was like halfway there, I created a tracker just to track everything that I needed. And I usually don't do trackers like these because they are super big and I don't track these much. But honestly, I needed this. And I'm so glad that I did, because sometimes you just need to pause and focus on your health. And this was really helpful for me. So you can pause and see all the trackers that I had in here and the days that I completed it. But I was basically just measuring things every single day for my day-to-day life to be better. And yeah, I'm actually super happy with how it turned out. Usually everyone does those little calendars for each month, but if you actually need to focus on you for a month, you can do this big habit tracker and make it happen. And I did this for August, but I also did it for September. I think it's here with the color scheme. And in this page, I just want to highlight the theme that I did, which is pastel stars. And it was so fun to create this theme that it's something that I actually recommend you to try in 2026. Just have fun with different colors and shapes and create a playful theme in your bullet journal. Next up is a month in memories page. This is actually really important to me because I did this in the month that we were going to get married. This is our wedding invitation. And I thought it was perfect to create a calendar just for daily memories, as you can say. So I can look at this and see all the things that we did in preparation for the wedding and when we got married. And it's kind of like a little piece of my life in a page that I can just look at and look at all the memories from that month. So if you know that something is going to happen in a particular month, or you want to remind yourself to just write something for each day, kind of like a daily highlights page but smaller, this is a page that I highly recommend. I am a huge advocate that you should use your bullet journal to not only track your productivity and tasks and stuff, but to also create memories. This is a memory that I will never forget, and just reading the little things that we did throughout the month brings me so much joy. My next two pages are a little bit more playful, but these are pages that I did once, and I feel like if you are a beginner to bullet journal, you should also try these, which is a My Ideal Day and When Did I Last page. So my ideal day page is basically where you write your routine for a specific day, or for like Monday through Friday if you have a normal job like me, and you write all the things that you would like to get done in a day. Your perfect day, how it would look like. This helped me a lot at that time because I was on summer break, I think, and I wanted to just create the perfect routine, and I did it, and it was actually super helpful. And I did it in this bullet journal because that was the one that I was using. And it's just fun to look at this and see, okay, I'm going to wake up at 6 and have a shower and breakfast and then study and do yoga, and all the things that I have to do need to be here, need to fit into my ideal day. This is a bit more playful, but I really like how this page made me feel at the time and how it helped me to create my ideal day. And then the When Did I Last page is a page for habits that don't happen every single month. So you basically read this page as when did I last did a hair mask? And I can see that I did on the first week of July and the last week of June, and then I kind of try to do the hair mask every other week. And then I declare the house on the 1st of July, and then on the 1st of May as well. And I went to the doctor in June, April, and January. And as you can see, this is how it works. And this is a great page if you have a lot of things going on and just want to catch up with you and say, oh, when did I last did this, this, and that? This page is for that. Now, I'm going to share with you things that I did in this bullet journal that I'm still using, my 2025 bullet journal. The first one is the entertainment page. I did this page later on after I did all of my collections for the year, but this is a page that I look at every week because we watch a lot of movies and TV shows together. So I'm constantly updating this. And because I do my monthly recap pages, I also like to annotate the things that we watch in here and then do the recap page so I don't forget anything. And this is basically just for me to write down all the movies, documentaries, TV shows, and animes that we watch together. And I add here the month that we watched it and a rating. And I'm almost finished with Gilmore Girls. That's why it is blank. And speaking of monthly memories, this is what I was talking about. I use that page to write down what we are watching so then I can do this. And this is my monthly recap page for October, for example, where I include a photo of us, a photo of me, something that we did, something to remember, the things that we watched, where we went, and a playlist of the month of my favorite songs. I love creating pages like this because it's, again, creating memories of my own life. And I feel like it's so important to create those in your bullet journal. So this is another page that I highly recommend you to try in 2026. And last but not least is a page that I did here in November, which is a double weekly spread. So I am not a big fan of these weekly spreads that are like just, like this. For me, weekly spreads take a long time to do, and I just don't have the time to do pretty ones. So I decided to create this type of weekly spread where I just do the borders for 2 weeks, and I cut out this excess page, and I have 2 weekly spreads in here. The only problem is that the weekends are together, but for me that's fine. But this is something that I've been implementing here and in October too. And it actually works out for me because I just have to do this probably twice in a month, and I have pretty weekly spreads for 2 weeks. So this is a huge life change for me, but it's so fun to just flip it around and have 2 weekly spreads ready to go that it's another thing that I highly recommend you to do if you're super busy in 2026. And I've been sharing with you a lot of different themes throughout this video, but if I had to recommend one, it would be your favorite show as a theme in your bullet journal. This is the second time that I do a Stranger Things theme in my bullet journal, and I'm so happy that the first volume just came out, and now I have to wait until Christmas, but I really liked it. So if you haven't done your favorite TV show as a bullet journal theme, you should. And those are all the ideas that I chose to share with you for 2026 for your bullet journal. I really hope you took some inspiration from it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Comment your go-to page for your 2026 bullet journal. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.